That's irrelevant. There are criminal charges pending against her. It's going to affect the ability of her to get a fair trial, so we're not going to answer that question in this forum.
Okay, sir. Just so we're clear, so you can think about the wisdom of taking that position, the relevance here is that if she's having to take money from others, then how in the world does she have money to pay for a babysitter once a week or every week? And it is highly relevant to this case. So I'm going to ask it one more time and see if you want to answer the question so we don't have to come back on another day, because I know you'd probably rather not, on a motion to compel. Was your daughter taking money that did not belong to her from others, to your knowledge, in the year leading up to this?
I'm not answering that.
Refuse to answer it.
Take it any way you want to take it. Refuse it. I'm not answering it. It's no concern about this lady here sitting down here. It's no concern.
Did your daughter appear to be short on funds in the year leading up to the disappearance?
If you know.
I have no knowledge of that. No knowledge.
Did you ever have any discussions with her, with your daughter, about her need for money or her finances during that year?
Never discussed it with her.
Did you ever discuss with her why she would take money that didn't belong to her?
Mr. Minnick, that assumes that she did. I mean, give him a fair question and he'll answer it if he can.
Will you read that question back, please?
Did you ever discuss with her why she would take money that didn't belong to her?
You're assuming that she took money that didn't belong to her.
Okay,
I have no knowledge that my daughter has taken any money.
None.
None.
Not from anybody, any family member?
He just said none, Mr. McNick. That's pretty inclusive.
Not from any family member? Is that correct?
That's
Is that
correct.
your sworn testimony?
Yep. I have no knowledge of it.
How about using credit cards that didn't belong to her? Any knowledge of that?
I have no knowledge of that whatsoever.
Have you reviewed anything before you're coming here today?
No, sir.
John. Tell me, was there any kind of friction or argument that occurred within 24, 48 hours of the time that your daughter and granddaughter went missing?
I have no knowledge of that.
You don't know anything about any kind of an argument or voices getting raised the evening before or within 48 hours in your house?
Did not.
Didn't happen or don't know about it?
Didn't happen, and I know of no other incidents at all at my house within that 24, 48 hours.
The last time that you saw Kaylee, tell me what was going on. Tell me about that.
I'm going to object to that. What does that have to do with your defamation suit, Mr. Mitnick? Talking about very personal information. The question, in my mind, is designed to embarrass, to annoy, and to harass this family, and it's got nothing to do with clearing your client, which is what we're here to do. Absolutely, 100% want to clear your client and restore whatever good name she had.
You want to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not going to spend my whole deposition explaining to you what the relevance is, because A, relevance isn't the standard here, but B, whoever took that child, did harm to that child, if it is not my client, it tends to prove my case. So I want to find out all the circumstances leading up to it to show it couldn't have been her.
Well, ask a question that's designed to get there,
Or-
and he'll answer it directly. I
Gladly.
mean, clearly is not your
Let me
client,
start
so
with
let's
good
get
suggestion.
to
Let me
that.
ask a question leading up to that so I can get to the circumstances that were going on so I can show my client couldn't have had anything to do with it. Tell me, sir, the last time you saw your daughter, what was going on?
I've seen my daughter a lot, sir, over these last few
Your
months.
granddaughter. Tell me.
No, I'm not.
Daughter
gonna,
or granddaughter?
I'm not going to discuss about my last day
Granddaughter.
of my granddaughter. The last thought I had of her, the last time I saw
I
her.
didn't ask your last thought.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You asked me what the last thing Don't do that to me, sir.
Okay. Let me rephrase it.
Okay, I'm going to cut to your chase right now so you can get away with all these questions, okay? Number one is, the Zanny that my daughter described to me is 24 to 25 years old, about 5'7", 125, 130 pounds. She has straight white teeth, long brown hair, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, she's a 10, supposedly.
Okay.
So let's just cut to the chase, and why don't we just end this right now, today?
When did she give you that description for the first time?
The first time I saw it was in July 15th. That's the time the Sheriff's Department came to my house and all the information was passed on to them. So let's just stop the chase right now and be done with this.
Let me ask you, were you, and we're going to come back to the quote chase, but let me ask you something about that while we're on
I'm
it.
not going to be able to handle this too much longer, Brad.
Let me ask you a question,
Sit
sir.
down. Okay.
Were you there when your daughter, at the jail, when your daughter was on the phone with your wife talking about
We're talking about a criminal proceeding here, Brad. I can't answer this.
Just let him ask the question.
the Zenaida Gonzalez, who lived in Kissimmee, who the police interviewed?
Brad, I'm getting ready to end this. I'm getting to walk out.
Just let him ask the question, okay? Just take a deep breath, George. All right? Take a breath.
Okay. This is very specific, so all y'all listen close, to this lady sitting right here.
I've looked at her many times, sir,
Okay.
and I feel sorry for her being here.
So let me ask you a very specific
And
question.
I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I feel sorry that you have to go through this. Really, I do. And I hope from this I'll be able to shake your hand when this is all over with and just say that I'm sorry.
Okay. Very specific question about her. Your daughter told, with you there in the room, we've got the video clips, told your wife that she never looked at a photograph of this Zenaida Gonzalez, the one that the police went down and interviewed in Kissimmee. Denied having looked at a photograph of her, which would have cleared her name. Did you know that she did that?
I have no knowledge of that.
Do you have knowledge that your wife, Cindy Anthony, went in front of cameras and told them that your daughter said she denied ever looking at a photograph of her, thereby clearing her? Were you aware of that?
I'll have to go back and look through stuff. I don't remember that at all.
Now, before your daughter went missing, your granddaughter and granddaughter went missing, what had you heard from your daughter just in the years leading up to that about having any friends or acquaintances at Sawgrass Apartments?
I didn't know anything about Sawgrass Apartments until this 15th of July, 2008.
You never heard of it before then?
I just said I didn't.